Now
Hi,
I'm like,
hi everybody.
oh my gosh, the Fridays, Friday the 13th.
Yeah,
They're so crazy. Like they don't make any sense at all, but I still love it.
yeah,
I still love it. But yeah, I think the fifth one was my least favorite, and I think you said the same.
yeah. Well, I kind of go back and forth between that one and seven.
Yeah.
Although, like you were saying, and like rewatching, I was like, it is actually, it is mostly like a Friday movie. But it's
Yeah.
when you watch it in a marathon and it's
Yeah.
sandwiched between six and eight, which are so fucking crazy and fun.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, seven has like the telekinetic stuff, but even that, they don't like do a whole lot with it.
It's just like thrown in there. Like I was so confused. Like I was like, okay, why am I meeting this girl?
Yeah.
And then the doctor was yelling at her, like, move the matchbox. And I was like, he's insane. Why would she be able to move a matchbox? And then it moved. And I was like, oh, okay, like, this is real. Like, and then she had no control over it. And then suddenly she, like, went into the avatar state and she could, like, control wires and tree roots. And at that point, I was like, okay, what's happening?
The characters are just kind of boring. Like, none of them are Ginny level, none of
No,
them are like Chris from part three level.
no. No, I think the most interesting girl was that bitch with like the Parent Trap haircut.
You are nuts!
Shut up, Melissa.
I don't believe you. You people give me the creeps.
Look, Melissa, just stay here with us.
It's not my style.
She was awful, but I'm like, well, at least she has a personality. I can't even tell what's going on with
Yeah.
everyone else.
I know, and that's kind of my thing too. Like, she is the best one,
Yeah,
but at the same time, she's also like probably one of the more boring, like bitchy girls.
yeah,
Because anybody who watches, like, we usually love the bitchy girls,
yeah,
but
exactly.
she's not even like fun bitchy. She's not like Miranda or like Courtney Shane level, like
Yeah.
sassy
She was just like
bitchy.
kind of unhinged bitchy, like,
Yeah.
but not in a fun, just like, I really like this boy 'cause he's cute. And you're like, okay. And then she finally gets killed, and it's not even that satisfying because at that
Yeah.
point you just know it's gonna happen.
Other than the sleeping bag kill, like most of the kills are just kind of generic
Yeah. Yeah,
or
that's
not, at least
true.
not memorable.
I was like, is Jason getting just kind of bored, or like is he just trying to get through to the end? Because he wasn't being as like fun and creative anymore. He was just like bashing people. Actually might take it back and say five is definitely better than seven because like was the brother's name Reggie?
I don't know if they ever say
Oh,
his
maybe
real
they
name.
don't.
They always call him Demon. And I can't imagine that's his real
No,
name,
it
but
can't be. I was actually sad when he died. I was like,
yeah.
no, not Demon. Like, 'cause I wasn't expecting him to be that cool. Like, because
Yeah.
Reggie was like, can I go see my brother? And I was like, it's probably gonna be some loser. And then he was like this super cool guy who like had all this frozen food and, and like a hot girlfriend.
Yeah.
And then and then he went to poop and then he died. And I was like, there's a lot of pooping in these movies.
Yeah, and his girlfriend like harassing him while he's trying to go to the bathroom.
I know. I was like, can you give him a minute? When the guy killed that kid with the axe, I was like, I get it. Like, why won't he shut up? And then I thought it was funny how everyone like hated that guy until he got murdered. And then they were like, oh my God, it won't be the same without him.
That's always how it goes though. Like
Yeah,
somebody dies and it's like even if they were hated, they're like, "Oh, well, it's so sad that they
I
died.
know.
I always liked them." It's maybe a horrible thing to say on stream, but I'm gonna say it anyway.
Yes, do it.
This this is my take. Nobody has to agree with it.
I'm so
But
here
that's
for
why
it.
I always say I really, really, really want Justin Bieber to die
Yeah.
in a super embarrassing way. Because that's the only time that people don't do that is if they die
Mhm.
in an embarrassing way that you can make fun of them forever.
Oh my God, the proof is the submarine. Like,
Yes.
nobody cares that those people died because the way that they died is so embarrassing and.
I really hate like the copycat thing,
Mm-hmm.
but I do think I might have to put 5 slightly above 7 just because
Yeah.
Demon was so cool and had so much personality, which is more than like anybody in 7 can
Yeah,
say.
no one in Seven had personality. Like, the main girl who we're supposed to be, like, rooting for had nothing going for her. I just thought she was
Yeah,
really annoying.
I was gonna
Like,
say all she does is like
cry.
scream and
Yeah.
cry.
I was like,
And
I'm so confused how you have superpowers and you're upset. Like,
yeah, like you're being quit being mean to me, and then
I
like a fucking
know.
mirror shatters, and it's like, wow, that
Ugh.
was cool for like 2 seconds.
I know. And then she had a crush on that guy for like no reason. Like that guy was not that interesting. She did that thing that I hate in movies where it's like, you'd be better off if you just stayed away from me. Like she was like, you're a nice boy who's just trying to get your life together and I'm trouble. Like I saw my dad die. It's like, who cares? Like he was like, "Oh my God, stay here. I'm gonna go round up the rest of everyone and just stay here and then we'll figure out where your mom is." And then she just like immediately goes into the woods. And then the doctor, and I know we were supposed to like hate the doctor. I guess he's supposed to be a dick, but like the fucking doctor's like covered in blood. He's like,
You have to come back with me now, please.
What are you doing here? Where's my mother?
She's, You gotta help me. We've gotta get out of here.
Where is she? Where's my mother?
She's gone.
What?
She's gone. Tina! Tina, don't go in there!
she runs in anyway. I was like, these are just the dumbest decisions. You can't
Yeah,
root for her when she's doing that.
and even as a kid, she's super fucking annoying. Her dad's like an abusive,
Yeah.
alcoholic, drunk, and he like beat the mom, and then
Yes.
she's like, "Get away from me! I hate
I
you!
know. She's like, I
I
wish
hope
you'd
you
die.
die!" And so then her telekinetic powers like fucking like sink him to the
Yep.
fucking bottom of the ocean or lake, like that fucking sub, the Titanic.
Yeah.
And then she's like, "No, Daddy!
I was
What
so
are you
annoyed.
doing?"
I was like, I
Like,
thought
girl, make up your mind.
I fully expected her to be so excited at that moment, like, oh my God, I've done it. And then she instantly was like, no.
I don't hate Pam, like who's like the final girl, the
Oh,
one that was like
yeah.
in charge of the camp,
Uh-huh.
but I also think she was a huge missed opportunity
Mm.
because she so could have been like Ginny
I know.
because she like obviously had to take like these psychology things too to like work with these kids,
Right.
and she just doesn't like she does the like mothering thing.
I kind of wanted her to be and thought she would be like a Ginny type because she seemed really smart and
Yeah,
like she was in charge. But no, she didn't. And then she kind of made dumb decisions. Like she took Tommy with her to go see Reggie's brother and then just like left him outside alone.
the only thing I really remember her doing that was kind of cool and not even necessarily smart, just like it was kind of
It was something.
yeah, was
Yeah.
when she's like pops out with the chainsaw.
Yeah, that was cool.
And then when it like dies, she like threw it at him instead of throwing it on the ground like I feel most other people would do.
So,
Yeah. And I do have to say, speaking of Ginny, I think this movie would have been a lot better if instead of Pam, it was Ginny.
yeah.
Like if
Oh,
she had come back.
oh my God, that would have been so cool. I was sad Jenny never turned up again because like she was the best one.
I have heard that originally part 3 was supposed to be about her in like the hospital. It was supposed to be kind of like Halloween 2. They couldn't get Ginny back at that time because she
Oh,
was doing a TV show.
ugh, okay. But then I thought it was so funny. So like the fifth one starts with him having a nightmare about someone like exhuming Jason's body. And then the sixth one starts like that, and I was like, did I put in the wrong DVD? Like, what's happening right now? And then it was him, it was Tommy, like, I'm gonna dig him
Yeah.
up and burn him. I'm like, didn't you just have a dream where that didn't work out?
He like digs up his corpse,
Mm-hmm.
and then he sees like he's rotting away,
Yes.
and he's like, "Nah, I gotta make sure he's dead." So I'm gonna take this metal pole, and I'm just gonna fucking stab it into his
Ew.
chest
Mm-hmm.
numerous times. And then it gets hit by lightning, which brings him back to life, and it's like, Tommy, you dumbass, you should have just
Why
left him
couldn't you
alone.
just have left it alone? Like, I know.
Or just, if you wanted to burn him, just burn him. Like,
Yeah.
don't like, be stabbing him with long metal poles in the middle of a fucking thunderstorm.
Right, like you could have even gone during the day and done that. Although I guess they
Yeah.
wouldn't let you during the day. Just like dig people up and stab them.
He kills Tommy's friend that Tommy brings with him to dig him up.
Oh, yes.
Even though he didn't want to go, so sucks for that guy.
That's why you should never go out with your friends, you guys.
I do like out of these four, I do think eight's probably my favorite just because like it's also different in a different or like in addition to being weird. Like
Yeah.
it's not just another like camp. It's not
Right.
it doesn't have like the annoying people like five.
Yeah.
It's like on a boat. It's like what you were saying last or like 2 weeks ago about how Jason should have been on Titanic.
Yes. Oh my God, I forgot. And then we got
Like
to see that a little bit. My one complaint was that Jason was so focused on chasing the last two and killing them.
yeah,
I miss when Jason was just kind of killing indiscriminately. Like he let so many
yeah.
people just go. Like when he was on the subway or when he walked through the restaurant, I'm like, he should be on a killing frenzy right now. Like, why is he so fixated? Like, kill these and then go back for those two. But I think he's in
Yeah.
his goal-oriented era.
I do like the scene in Times Square when he kicks the stereo.
Yes.
Somebody please
Go!
help!
You gotta have a heart made of US steel. If the crack don't get you, then the hookers will.
I felt like he was having fun. Like he got to
Yeah.
travel, see new things. Yeah, I loved the whole boat thing. And then like the weird like Disney Channel moment at the beginning when the dad is like, "I want my son to drive the boat." And his dad's like,
Yeah.
"You never even like asked me if I want to drive the boat." And he just like also sucked at driving the boat. Like he's like, "Okay, let's just go." And they're like, "Oh, there's like so many things we have to do before we can just start driving the boat." Oh my God, I died when they were like doing cocaine. And she's
When
like,
she's like, maybe we shouldn't be doing this in the hallway on a school trip.
right. She's like,
You know, if we get caught, I could lose my science scholarship and everything.
Talking to the prom queen, Eva. Do you really think I'm gonna risk getting caught?
okay,
it's
these two
like-
things are not on the same level. No, Jason got so funny in this one. Like, he's just launching people, like, throwing them around.
Yeah.
I loved it.
I also like when they first get to New York and there's that billboard for the hockey masks.
Oh, yeah.
And he just like has this confused look.
He's like, that's me.
Or as confused as you can look with a mask.
Right. Also, when those kids are, like, trying to mug him, and he just takes his mask off, and they're like, never mind. And, like, he knew. Like, I couldn't believe he didn't just kill them. He was like, oh, I'll just scare them away with my ugly, ugly face.
I also have to say in 6, it's like the
Mhm.
one time that there's actual kids at the camp.
Oh my God, those kids. They were so annoying.
The only part with the kids that I actually like is when they're like hiding under the bed or whatever.
Uh-huh.
When Jason's there, the one
So,
What were you gonna be when you grew up?
That was so good. But I also thought it was funny when she was doing CPR on Tommy and all the kids are just like watching, like they're just standing around him like watching and they like clap when he wakes up. I was like, this is so weird. Like, shouldn't she just tell them to go somewhere else or something? Like, I feel like she shouldn't just have these kids here while someone is potentially dying.
I thought it was funny though when they're talking about Jason and oh, it's Friday the 13th
Oh yeah.
and we're at camp and then they're like but there's something even scarier and then like all those kids show up. I'm like, yep, 100%.
Yeah, I saw that.
And the guy that was doing cocaine in the parking lot of the
Yes,
diner
it
while
was
he's
about
waiting
to
for
bring him up. That was not what I expected because when he like peeled into the diner and was doing donuts, I thought it was going to be like another greaser kid. And
Yeah.
instead it's like this balding like nurse from the psychotic ward or what the psychiatric ward or whatever. And then I was like, okay, plot twist. Like I guess he is having a midlife crisis and then he takes out cocaine and I was like, what is happening here? Like who is this guy?
After like fucking banging on his fucking car horn for his girlfriend who's just trying to do her fucking
She's
job.
at work.
Hey! Jesus Christ. Come on, will ya? Lana! Hey!
I was like, thank goodness, like, there's no customers or like other or her boss isn't here. Like, she's gonna get
Yeah.
fired.
Yeah, and I'm just fucking shocked that that chick wanted that guy anyway.
I couldn't believe it. I was like, he must be rich or something. Like, I don't know. Like, they don't make any sense. Best. Star says, what was the best sex scene? There's so many, but none of them are really that good. 'Cause like all of the ones at in the first like in the first and second movies, it's like they're in the woods. So that's already just like not very sexy.
I'm going to say the black couple in Seven that are having sex in the van, and then they think they hear Jason, and they think it's like their friend, and they're like,
Oh
"Let's stop having
yeah.
sex because it's like," and like go scare
I
friend, and it's
forgot
like,
about them.
who the fuck does that?
Like they were really into it and then they're just like, "Oh, that's probably like whatever his name is. Let's scare him." And then they like throw the doors open without even putting a shirt on or anything. Yeah, that's probably the best one.
I'm
And then
gonna say that, or the one in part 4 with that one girl and the dead fuck.
oh yeah, that one was pretty. That one I was just happy for him. Oh my
And
gosh.
like I always kind of think of the Kevin Bacon one too, just
Oh
because he gets like
yeah.
stabbed in the neck like right after.
But
Yeah.
again, they were like in the woods. I just
Yeah.
remember thinking like, ew, it's so gross in there. Like, I don't want to put my butt on any of this stuff. I honestly can't believe that like churches don't show these movies because if I was like in my brainwashed era and you show me this and just tell me like this is what God does to people who have premarital sex, like it kind of aligns with their values.
In the first one, like at the beginning, when it's the flashback, it's like, I know we just got a kid murdered,
Right?
but we're all hanging out singing like campfire
Right.
songs. Let's go sneak off somewhere.
Oh my God, my notes for the first one are like, is this like a Mormon Bible camp or something?
Milk and honey on the other side.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and then there's also like the parts in that movie that were just super fucking predictable too. Like
Mhm.
that one, because they're staying, the other kids are staying at like the rich kids like uncle's cabin,
Oh yeah. Oh,
and
the rich kid was so weird.
he's like dating that one like chick,
Yeah.
the like I guess the bimbo-y one out of their friend.
Yeah. She was like really ditzy.
And then they're like walking out by the lake at dark, and he's like, when did you know that you
Oh my
loved
God.
me? And it's like, you fucking know she's gonna be like, because she's like, when I saw the size of your enormous, and then she stops and it's like, you know, it's gonna be Wallet. It's not gonna
Yep.
be Dick.
Yep. I know that was
Because
gonna
he's rich.
mention. I was gonna mention that exact part. Like that joke I saw coming a mile away. She's like,
Yeah.
"You're enormous, Wallet," and it's like, ugh. And she's like, "Let's go skinny dipping," and I was like, again with like going into these vermin infested waters at night with nothing on. Like I do not understand why this is such a thing.
This is like the 4th movie now that has skinny dipping at least.
Yeah, at night. Oh, this actually reminds me. So after watching, I think it was like the fifth or sixth Friday the 13th, I took a little break and I was like, I'm just gonna watch like Kim Possible and see if it holds up as an adult.
Yeah.
And so far
Does
it
it?
does. Yeah.
Okay.
So far it's still pretty funny. But there was totally, I felt like it was a Friday the 13th episode because they are like going to some cheerleading convention. So it's like Ron and all these cheerleaders. And then their bus breaks down and they're at Camp Wannaweep, which is like the camp that he went to when he was a kid and he like hated it. He said it was horrible. And they're like, "Oh my gosh, like we're totally going to get picked off one by one just like in those horror movies." And then like weird things start happening and
Yeah.
specifically like the lake is a really dangerous place where horrible things happened. And then it turns out that one of the kids who Ron had went to camp with was like forgotten about in the lake. Like he would be in the lake all the time unsupervised, and he got like mutated because the lake was toxic because lakes are disgusting. And I was like, "Oh
Of
my
course
God,
they are.
it's Jason." Except instead of being a murderer, he was just it's Kim Possible, so he didn't murder anyone. He just like captured them and yelled at them and stuff. But
Yeah.
I was like, just once again, camp is terrible and no one should go.
Even look at As Told by Ginger,
Hmm.
Camp Caprice. Look at how fucking horrible those people were to Courtney in
Horrible.
the first one. Like, they made her fucking cry. I think that's the one time Courtney has ever
Yeah.
cried.
No, they were so mean to her. And for what? Do you know if there was like an actual creative decision? Like, was there a moment where they're like, we can't keep doing burlap sack and pillowcase or whatever?
um, the only thing that I can think of is there is a movie called The Town That Dreaded Sundown,
Uh-huh.
where the killer wears a burlap sack, and I'm assuming they just kind of wanted something a little bit more iconic
Oh,
because a different
yeah.
movie already did it.
That makes sense. Yeah, and like Michael Myers has his like iconic mask look
Yeah.
thing.
So that's the only I haven't heard like officially somebody say, but that's like my assumption.
Yeah. I'm glad they went with the hockey mask. I think it works.
Yeah. Although I do still love bag
Yeah.
over his head Jason just because it's so ridiculous.
It
Especially
is.
with the like one fucking eye.
I know. I know you almost just feel kind of bad for him. You're like, he's so stupid. Like, you have two eyes, but you only cut one eye hole. Like, you couldn't even just get that far in your reasoning. Like, you were just like, one hole is fine. You know,
Yeah.
considering that Jason, like, died in the lake, he doesn't seem to have any qualms about spending a lot of time in the water. Like, he seems totally at peace. So good for him.
Yeah.
He's brave.
It's like I don't fucking care. Like I died in here. I'm fucking invincible.
Yeah, like I thought in I think it was the sixth one when Tommy's like, in order for him to stay dead, we have to kill him and we have to drown him in the lake he originally died in. And I'm like, are you just making this up as you go? Like, you were the one who accidentally like revived him and now suddenly you're a professional on like
Yeah.
where he needs to die. Um But so then he goes onto the lake, and I kind of thought Jason would be like, I'm not going in there. But Jason just walked in. Like, I thought it was so funny. He was just walking until he was like, the water was up to there. And then he's like, okay, now I'm going to start swimming. Like, Jason, you're so weird.
Would have been funnier though if because Tommy's like, it's me he's after, so if
Yeah.
we go there, he'll come after me. Like, it would have been funnier if he was like, I don't fucking care about you. Like,
I
there's this
know.
whole fucking camp
I
full of me.
know. Now I want to do a Friday the 13th drawing while we wrap up. And like twice or maybe three times now, they've shown Jason like erupting out of the water. Very
Yeah.
like menacingly, but also kind of gracefully. So I thought it might be fun to draw him like with a group of synchronized swimmers. Because he seems like he really has mastered like the concept of like bursting out of the water. And he always has his hands up. This was Tommy's big plan, like, oh, like I'm gonna drown him in this water, like hey hey hey, and then he'll be dead. And Jason was like, bitch, I lived here for like 10 years. This is my
Yeah.
lake. Like Tommy just immediately got owned. Like he was like, "Oh my God, where is he? Where is he?" And Jason's just like swimming around like a mermaid under there. Go, Jason. Your mom would be so proud if she could see you right now.
You aren't a very good swimmer,
Yeah. She was like, "He wasn't a strong swimmer." And it's like, "Well, look at him now.
but yeah.
He spent so much of the eighth movie in the water, too." That was pretty impressive. Do we have any final thoughts about these eight Friday the 13th movies?
Well, I say 2 is the best.
Agreed.
I would say that you could skip the first one if you didn't want to watch it and just go straight to 2.
Mm-hmm.
But be warned, you cannot watch the second one first and have the same, like, effect
Yeah.
with the first one, because if you see the second one first, they're gonna spoil the twist
Yeah.
at the end of the first one.
Yeah, the twist got me. I was surprised.
Yeah. Otherwise, I think all of the first 4 are pretty decent.
Mm-hmm.
And 6 and 8 are good. They're both, like, crazy and fun.
Yeah.
And, 5 is really bad, but,
5 is so
there are
bad.
there are, like, 2 or 3 good
Yeah. I think that's a fair summary. And I'll just add to that, I think that they're all really fun. Like I went into it
Yeah.
like I think I went into the first one expecting like not to be scared, but for it to be like scary. And like the first
Yeah.
two are a little like they're eerie. And then after that they're just fun. It's like the same feeling as like the Fast and Furious franchise where it's like, okay, we've got another one and it just keeps happening. Like and
Yeah.
then he does go to space. So, yeah, it's like the same thing.
Yeah.
I love it.
And I said that part 7 only has the sleeping bag kill as a redeemable quality. I'm also gonna say, I know some people say Jason in part 7 is the best looking Jason. I still really like
What?
the bag over his head. I think they like that, like, I think that's the first one where, like, you see his,
Oh, his
like,
face.
skeleton and,
Yeah,
like, his face and stuff.
that's true. The skeleton, like seeing his like skeleton under there was pretty cool, but you can't beat Bag Jason.
Yeah, I was gonna
Bag
say, I
Jason.
still like Big Jason the best. But I can see where, you know, if you're being chased by some dude and his fucking, like, ribs are showing,
Yeah.
like, that would be kind of, like, gross. So
But then
I guess I could see where people would think that's cool.
yeah. But then like Bag Jason I think is scarier because he's still just like a weird creep who lives in the woods and is
Yeah.
obsessed with his mom and is chasing you. Whereas like a zombie skeleton chasing you is like, okay, that's just a monster. But like some weird dude in the woods, like, ugh, creepy.
Oh.
Yep. So yeah, I agree. I think they're all really fun. I think people should watch them. I am 100% correct that Jason did synchronized swimming in between the eighth and ninth movies, so.
And he's right here. He can confirm.
Oh my god, he's so cute. Aww. Oh, that's adorable. Oh, I have to find someone to raid. Oh, my phone's dead.
Oh no.
It was at 1%. It did a lot though. That 1% got me pretty far. So we will
Matt
raid.
Comert's on.
Yeah. That's who we'll raid. Raid.
Because that was the first one on my
Yeah, it's mine too.
list of-
Boom.
Yeah.
Cool.
Otherwise, we'll see you next week to talk about the Final Girls, which
Yes.
parodies Friday the 13th.
I'm so excited. I'm so excited.
And it has Nina in it, so
Nina! I love her.
a
I mean,
favorite
you know
of
I
Real
do.
Bestie.
Yes. All right, guys. Thank you for hanging out. We'll see you
Yep.
next week.
Bye.
Bye.